Make or do?
Two of the most common, most essential words in English, and yet they cause so much confusion. If you've ever paused and thought, wait, which one is it? You are definitely not alone. So let's dive in and get this cleared up once and for all. Okay, so right out of the gate, a little test for you. Which one of these just sounds right? Did you make your homework or did you do your homework? One is perfect natural English, and the other is a super common mistake we hear all the time. And that's the promise here. By the time we're done, you're not just going to know the right answer. You'll actually get the simple logic behind it, so you can nail it every single time without even thinking about it. You see, it all comes down to one simple core idea. So for a minute, forget trying to memorize long, boring lists of phrases. Let's just focus on this one fundamental difference. And here it is. This is the golden rule. Make is all about creation. You're producing, building, or creating something that wasn't there before. Do, on the other hand, is about action. It's for a task, a job, an activity. Just burn this into your brain. Make equals create. Do equals act. That's the key.
So, with that golden rule fresh in our minds, let's take a closer look at the first one, make. Okay, so the most obvious, straightforward use of make is for things we physically create. When you cook something, or you bake, or you build a model airplane, you're bringing a new object into the world. That's pure creation, and that's why we use make. And what's cool here is that the scale can change completely, but the principle stays exactly the same. Whether you're making lunch in your kitchen for one person or a huge company is making a brand new car, it's all about the act of production, of creation.
But make isn't just for physical stuff. Oh no, it's an absolute powerhouse in the world of work and business. Here, the idea of creation is a little more abstract, but it's still there. Think about it. You don't physically build a decision with your hands, right? But you create one. You produce progress. Heck, you even create a mistake. These are what we call collocations, or set phrases, where make is just the verb that works. You're creating an outcome or an event, like making a phone call or making money. Let's just pause on that one for a second. When was the last time you had to make an important decision? Asking yourself a question like that, using the phrase in a real context, is one of the best ways to make it stick. All right, so that's make covered. Now let's switch gears and apply our golden rule to its partner in crime, do. So remember, do is for actions and tasks. It's our go-to verb when we're talking about an activity in a really general way, without getting specific. If I ask you, what did you do last night? Your answer could be anything from watching TV to climbing a mountain. Do just covers general actions. And here is a perfect, everyday example of where do really shines. When we're talking about chores, all those little jobs around the house, do is almost always going to be the right choice. So you do the ironing, you do the washing, you do the cleaning. These are all tasks, right? They're jobs you perform. But wait, hold on a second, there's an exception. You don't do the bed, you make the bed. Now, why is that? Well, think back to our golden rule. You are creating a tidy, neat surface. You're arranging the pillows and blankets to build a finished product. See? The rule still works. And here are just a few more really useful phrases with do. You perform a task when you do a course or do an experiment. You perform an action for someone when you do them a favor. And, there it is, the answer to our first question. You perform the task that your teacher assigned you. You do your homework. Okay, so you've got the core rules for make and you've got the rules for do. Now it's time for the final showdown. Let's look at how these two verbs can sometimes describe the very same event, but in totally different ways. So, take a look at this picture of a barbecue. Here's the question. Can we use both make and do here? Yes, you absolutely can, but, and this is the key part, the meaning changes completely depending on which one you choose. This is just brilliant, isn't it? If you say we made a barbecue, you're talking about creation. You literally built the physical grill, maybe with bricks and metal. But if you say we did a barbecue, you're talking about the action, the event. You performed the activity of having a party and cooking the food. I mean, what a perfect example of our golden rule in action. So if you only remember one thing from this whole explainer, please let it be this. When you get stuck, just ask yourself one question. Am I talking about creating something? Use make. Am I talking about performing an action? Use do. It's that simple. All right, let's wrap all this up with one last thought for you to take with you.
So the mystery is solved. The distinction isn't confusing anymore. You've got the tool to choose the right word with confidence every single time. The only question left is, what are you going to do with it first? Will you go make a delicious dinner, or will you do some exercise? The choice is all yours.